Ready? Hey everybody, happy Thursday. I hope your week has been wonderful. Mine has been chaotic and really long, and I've thought every day this week that it was Friday, and it's disappointing that it's still not Friday. So welcome back with our self-care series tonight. Today, I'm recording it the night before though. This is Dr. Gail Lane, and she's going to introduce herself here in a minute, but I call her, I don't know what her real title is, but she works for Chenal Family Therapy in our Northwest office, and she is the director, in my opinion, of clinical directors. So she helps me, she leads me, and y'all send all the prayers. That is no easy task. I'm not the easiest employee. I like to push back some. So send all your positive thoughts to Gail. But I am so excited, Gail. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm going to let you take it over and kind of tell us a little bit about you and what you're going to talk about tonight.
Nice. Thanks, Katie. So my name is Dr. Gail Lane. I'm the clinical director in Northwest Arkansas. And like Katie said, I get to work with all of the clinical directors in the state. And that's a really fun job. And I feel super privileged to be able to do that with everybody. As far as my practice, I work with individuals and I work with couples and mainly adults, and depression, anxiety, a lot of couples issues, infidelity, divorce, so on and so forth. And I love what I do and feel super privileged to do it and to do it along all the amazing people that I have in my teams. So a little nugget I'm going to share with y'all. You know, I was thinking about this and I was thinking like this season has just been so weird and so crazy. And I am a mom and a working mom, and my kids all of a sudden out of school. And I still have my teams that I'm communicating with. I still have my clients that I'm communicating with. I have a husband that's somewhere in the mix of all this stuff. And so like I was thinking, okay, what is it that I want to share? And I think for me in this season, the thing that has resonated over and over and over again is asking myself, what is the best use of my time right now? And just getting really focused. I think at the very beginning, I don't know about you, Katie, but at the very beginning of all this, like information was changing so quickly and rapidly that I felt like kind of like I needed to be tied to my phone. I needed to be tied to information. I needed to be available 24/7 to all the people and all the things. And I was so overwhelmed and exhausted that finally I got to a place where I was like, okay, wait, what is the best thing for me to be doing right now in this moment? Is that being present with my kid? Is that being present with myself? Is that being present with my spouse, my client, you know, somebody in one of my teams, whatever it is? Is that sleep? What is the best thing for me to be doing right now? Does that make sense?
I love it. Oh, I love it. And I have to be honest with everyone. And like, I feel like Gail deserves a public apology because here she is getting all this information changed and she's sending it to us and my phone's exploding. And I have two crazy kids at home. My husband's home for 5 weeks. I also have my team, and Gail's sending all this information. And I was like, just stop. I'm not reading these texts anymore. Just stop. And Gail's like, I'm sorry. So I am sorry, Gail.
Real life moment.
That was
real life.
That is. And she was so gracious in her response that she said, then don't read the text. You know, if it was me, I probably would have chunked the phone if I was Gail and said, what a stubborn brat, because that's what I was being. But I was so overwhelmed. And Gail was so gracious. And really, this was kind of your response. You were like, you do what you and your family need to do. And so I took a week off because I was spiraling past, and I turned my text messages off. I didn't attend meetings, and I left everyone hanging for a second to take care of me and my family. And so first, thanks for your gracious response in that moment. But I think I love this just really simple idea because it takes the guilt away. And I talk on my page all the time about parenting guilt, spouse guilt, employee guilt. I live in residual states of guilt, and I love that. Maybe I can't respond to all the texts, but right now I need to rock my daughter.
Yes, exactly.
So it's such a profound, but just a simple thing when we catch up and our thoughts are going crazy, to ground ourselves in reality in the moment and just like, what am I supposed to do right now?
Yes. What's the best use of my time right now? I think that definitely grounds us in reality. But I think another thing, when, like, I know for me in the very beginning, when everything was so chaotic, I felt like there were so many things out of my control. Like the school was closed for my kids. I no longer had childcare. I don't have people to take care of my kid. Like, we don't live close to relatives. My husband was going back and forth on whether or not does he need to go to work. We're trying to figure out, like, what do we do in the office now that we've got all these different standards where we need to sanitize things, and do we need to wear masks, and, so on and so forth. But I think the question of, like, what's the best use of my time right now helps me focus on what I can control in the moment. And it gives me back some sort of personal power, I think, where I'm not going in a reactionary mode. I'm focusing on what is within my control and my power right now. And then I can put all of my energies and efforts and anxieties or whatever into that thing, whatever it is. I think that is a huge resource to be able to say, okay, I do have power right now, even if that is rocking my daughter or, sleeping or meditating or exercising or eating something healthy. Yes, watch a whole season on something on Netflix. Yeah, girl.
That is always the best use of my time.
Yes, actually, that is something that, like, I feel like that's been a bonus in all of this has been like, oh my gosh, I get to catch up on some reading. This is the best use of my time. I get to catch up on some Netflix, the best use of my time. I'm an Outlander fan.
Oh my gosh. So good. So good.
Man, and so many good shows too. So many good shows.
I feel like Netflix needs a million shout outs for also dropping all these shows earlier. My new favorite show I could watch a million times is The Outer Banks. If you haven't seen it, you should watch it.
I haven't seen it. I'll write it down. Literally
go watch it. I want to watch it again, and my husband says no. So he says it is not the best use of his time.
But okay, that's actually an interesting concept, that sometimes what is the best use of my time isn't necessarily the best use of somebody else's time. And how do you navigate through that relationally? Like, okay, my daughter can decide the best use of our time right now is to play pirate ships. And I'm like, well, actually, the best use of my time right now is to prepare for this talk with Katie. How do we negotiate that?
Yeah, that's a great point. So how do you negotiate that?
Girl, give yourself a ton of grace.
Amen. I get it.
A ton of grace. But also, like, I think it does go back to the question of, like, what is the best use of my time right now? Okay, yes, I want my child to feel loved and happy and secure. And at the end of the day, like, that's going to be the important thing. I think that it just, like, there's something it's super simple about it that I think realigns me with my values and my personal goals for myself and my family.
Yeah, absolutely. And it comes back to, if it was my kids, my response would be like, you've been home all day, and so have I. We've played Pirates 5,082 times. So the best use of my time is to work on this, in content. I love that, and breaking it down and all that. Well, Gail, I cannot thank you enough for jumping on here tonight, and I have loved it. Full disclosure, everyone, me and Gail love talking so much that right before she got on here, she said, oh my gosh, we've talked so much, I only have 10% of battery left. And she said, let's do it tomorrow. I said, okay, let's start now. So,
go.
So here she is. Here, I will give all of Gail's information. She is an amazing therapist. She is an amazing person. She is real life. She is enjoyable to talk with. And the one thing I love the most about you, Gail, is just how real you are. So I cannot thank you enough for jumping on here tonight.
Thank you. This is a pleasure, and always, like, you make me laugh, and you're fun to be around, and you're real as well. So thank you.
Well, guys, I hope you guys took something away. I love this. Go figure out what the best use of your time is. You should all decide it's watching Outer Banks, and I will see you back next Tuesday.